15 years since the abduction of the two soldiers on the northern border of Israel. I think that almost every Israeli remembers this date, and each of us has a personal experience from this very sad day. Today we are going to visit the exact place where the two soldiers were kidnapped, where I will tell my personal story from this day. Let's take a look. You know, when you stand here and you walk here and you look around, you understand. You understand the geography, you understand the terrain, you understand that this place is really, really low, and that actually nobody can see you except for Hezbollah. This wall on our right, over here, it didn't exist that day, and these fortifications were put over here by the IDF only years later, while an organization named Artists for Israel planted these flowers, which are all Israeli flowers, about 121 Israeli flowers to commemorate 121 soldiers that were killed in this war. I don't know if you can hear in the camera, but there is a drone above us, and we can hear clearly to protect us over here, because this place is not the most comfortable place on the border. This is a very well-known Hebrew song. I will try to translate, but of course it sounds better in Hebrew. My dear Lord, please take care the honey and the sting, the bitter and the sweet. My dear Lord, don't uproot the trees. Don't ever forget the hope. And let me be back to the good land. As we walk, we are actually walking where Hezbollah operatives walked when they went down from the mountain above us. You can take a look. This is where they were hiding, just above us. They had a very good look, and they came just behind these fortifications over here. In a minute, let's continue to walk. And in a minute, you will be able to see how it looks like. I'm just continue to walk to this area where the hammer was hit. You can take over here, Avram, come over here, and then you can take a look at what's behind me, and you can see the buildings behind me are actually Ayat al-Shab, the Shiite town where Hezbollah commanders were hiding during the kidnapping. They came down from the mountain, put this fence just behind me where you see the blue barrel, which is actually a blue barrel that marked the blue line, kind of a border. I can't even say an agreed border, but kind of a border between Israel and Lebanon. They crossed over here after they already bombed the two hammers over here. The first one was over here, and the other one was further up over there. 3 soldiers were killed in the hammer over there. 2 more over here. Hezbollah came down over here and actually pulled them out and took them and disappeared in Lebanon. We didn't know exactly whether they're alive or dead. We had our evaluations that they may be probably really badly wounded, but we didn't have any proof that they are dead, or we're not completely positive about that. And the fact that Hezbollah entered into Israel after ambushing the soldiers from Israeli territory, which is north to the fence, coming over here, kidnapping the soldiers. It was 9:30 a.m. daylight. This was a casus belli. the Israeli Prime Minister said very clearly, we're going to go back over there to bring the soldiers back, and we want to remove the threat of the rockets from the villages and the towns across the Israeli northern border. This is a very important point, because during the kidnapping, Hezbollah bombed all the borderline between Israel and Lebanon. When I'm saying borderline, I mean that also the communities themselves were bombed by Hezbollah. So here, when we stand here, I want to go back to my personal story. So July the 12th, 2006, I get the first reports on my computer. Back then I served in Tel Aviv, at the headquarters in Tel Aviv, in the Research and Analysis Division. And I get the first reports that mortars were launched from Lebanon to the northern border of Israel. And I remember clearly the names of the towns where the mortars hit, and IDF positions which are nearby the towns to protect them. Dovev, Iron, Metula, Misgaf Am, Malakia. And then about 2 hours later, we get another report that 2 soldiers are missing, and we actually understand that there was a kidnapping of soldiers. I went 1 floor up to my commander, and I asked him 2 questions, because I understood very quickly what is happening. And I asked him, first, how come we are not recruiting the reserves? What's going on? Because I knew it's going to be war now. And second, I told him, we can't have war now since I am 9 months pregnant. And he said, don't worry, the baby will wait. And actually, the baby waited. And it's funny because my water broke at the 32nd day to this war. We went to the hospital, and on my way to the hospital, I opened the radio and I hear that the United Nations Security Council accepted the resolution, 1701, resolution that ended the war, saying that the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon will begin on August 14 at dawn 2006. And on August 14 at dawn 2006, my son was born. Unbelievable. I'm always excited when I'm telling this story again and again and again. This last summer, my son turned to be 13. Now we are celebrating 14 years. His 14th birthday, but actually I want to speak about his 13th birthday, which is his bar mitzvah. We were not in Israel during that day. We were outside of the country, and we decided to have the bar mitzvah in September 5th. And in the end of August, I was with him in Paris, and we get reports from this area that there was a conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. Israel killed a few Hezbollah combatants in Syria, and Hezbollah threatening to retaliate. Then I'm coming back to Israel, and I'm preparing the bar mitzvah, and I'm preparing his album from the day he was born, and I find the newspaper from the day he was born, and the headline in the newspaper was ceasefire under a test, or in test. And I began crying, because it was that day that I understood that we have 5 days to the bar mitzvah. I'm not sure that we are going to celebrate it, because there is an escalation on the northern border, and Hezbollah promised retaliation. And the following day, I sit with my team to analyze what's going on, and then we get reports that there was an anti-tank launching about 20 minutes drive from here against IDF vehicle, an IDF position very close to a community named Avivim. And it was a very tense day until we understood that nobody was killed on the Lebanese side, nobody was killed on the Israeli side. and we're going to celebrate the bar mitzvah as planned. But I think this very small personal story that is completely connected to what I do in my professional life exemplify the situation that we live here today, between peaceful atmosphere, and it's a quite beautiful day, and I deliberately moved over here so you will be able to see the flowers behind me, and the way things can happen here very quickly, and we can very quickly find ourselves in a completely different situation that nobody could imagine a few minutes earlier. I'm Sarit Zehavi from the northern border, exactly where the two soldiers were kidnapped exactly 14 years ago. Thank you very much for being with us.